Good. You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of one speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes.
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask later magic. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a midnight sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just Hydra bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little? I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Sorry to hear you went through that.
It was bad, but I learned to deal with it. It's the only way forward, right? Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
I did not realize you carried such pain.
I just learned to bury it. You think I can afford a therapist on a superhero salary? I'm kidding. We don't get paid for this. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries!
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, Think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the staff of one? Or who were the runaways?
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but...
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
The world is still full of monsters and villains, my mother being the worst of them all.
You forgot heroes. The world is still full of heroes. Though sadly, we're missing one of our best.
Agatha? Where is Agatha?
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... She's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
Fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
You do not have to do this.
Thank you, but I do. I haven't spoken to anyone about what happened. And more so than anyone, you deserve to know. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
Was Wanda so different from me as a child? Was it that easy to send her away?
I didn't have a choice. Wanda's powers were beyond even her own control, and this time I had no Agatha to help me, as I had with you. I thought she would be safe with Strange. On that part, at least, I was clearly mistaken. Ah, Wanda. Agatha. It seems we've lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
Agatha?
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Blood Gate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? This ominous-looking portal is known as a Blood Gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Blood Gate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you, as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask. Not what you were expecting, is it? There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Oshtur.
Sarah? Caretaker was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference.
And this is my challenge.
Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear.
Your time has come! Feel my call. I am impressed. Once again, Lilith's servants fall.
Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting. Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the Blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Oshtur for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there? After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate.
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a we in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever is in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
I hope the two of you create something powerful. I want to stop Lilith quickly and decisively.
As I said, I'm sure it can help us. I just need to convince Tony to set his ego aside. His discomfort with the esoteric nature of the arcane might be a problem.
But Tony's eccentricities aside, I know you can make this work.
Right now, with the sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within.
You've been here more in the past few days than I have since... ever. The forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with the spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good! How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another, just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with caretaker Sumerian's sofa.
It would be my honor to spar with a spirit of vengeance.
Wow, he's real excited. Never thought he'd get bouncy, but here we are. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blake to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky trade places, what does he look like?
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
You called for me, Captain?
Keep telling ya, Carol works too, but yeah, I did. Now that Tony's finally starting to get a handle on his gremlin problem, I've been able to put Central to good use. Got a lead on some particularly gnarly Hydra operations happening in the city. But we need to move fast if we want to intercept them in time.
Then let us get going.
My thoughts exactly. There's just one problem, though. We seem to have lost our gatekeeper, Magic.
Lost?
Well, I updated her on the mission. She said something I can only assume to be a prolific swear word in Russian and disappeared. Literally. And with no magic...
There is no passage to New York, or anywhere for that matter.
Now you see my problem.
Do not worry, Captain. I will locate and alert her of the team's needs.
There's that can-do, get-it-done, old-timey prophesied savior of humanity attitude I was hoping to see today. Still, you better hurry. Not sure how long Hydra will remain in their current position.
Then I shall make haste.
Yes, you hasten as much as you can, Hunter.
Nico, do you know where Magic is? We need her.
Let me guess. To open another portal? She's getting a little tired of being the only person here who can do that. Can't say I blame her.
This is serious, Nico. Where is she?
Not sure. But I know she's been looking for Wanda's grimoire, so maybe check in Wanda's room?
Thanks for your help. This room belonged to the Scarlet Witch, did it not?
Wanda. It belongs to Wanda. Let me guess. You are to ask me to do the one thing the others value me for. Opening their precious portal. Well, I am in the middle of something. Come back later.
It is never easy to lose a comrade. I know this too well.
We did not lose Wanda. We let her go. Before any of this started. Wanda's first grimoire. Agatha gave it to her when she was teaching her witchcraft, the dark arts. She was trying to help Wanda control her powers. She would never let me read it. So now I read it.
No good ever comes from a book like that. Trust me.
Funny, you sound like Wanda. She was also afraid of her power. I can almost hear her scolding me for invading her privacy. But I've done far worse than to rummage through someone else's things. Far worse. And so have you. I know what she's going through. To come face to face with true evil itself. To be dragged to some hell dimension so hot that your soul is scorched black. Your heart so filled with soot that it chokes out all the bright parts of you. Until you are just a dark thing of smoke and ash. I cannot let such a fate happen to her.
We will find her. I can feel it.
And just who will find her? Caretaker? The Avengers? Do not try to fool me with your false empathy, Hunter. I know Caretaker will never waste resources looking for her.
Ileana, just open the portal.
You are like an Avenger. All you do is take, take, take. You expect too much. Okay, I will open your damn portal. It is times such as this that I wish someone else here could drill holes through space and time. Perhaps Doctor Strange should spend less time tinkering with Tony Stark in the Forge and focus more on his magic. No matter. I will be there when you are ready, Hunter. Goodbye.
I take it you found our gatekeeper. Then let me explain what's going on. When Hydra isn't preoccupied with world-ending scenarios, they spend a lot of their free time terrorizing the citizens of New York through various low-level operations. It's fairly routine stuff for heroes these days, and worst case, we'll still get some fresh intel in the process. Why don't you check the mirror table and see what we've got on our plate?
Prepare yourselves.
Not a problem.
Is that the best you've got? innocent are spared.
One more. It's about time.
On the move. You have been judged. It is time. Your suffering begins.
I can only imagine what sins they were guilty of to deserve that.
Well done. Seems like that's the last of them.
Last? There are more heads to the Hydra than you will ever comprehend, heroes. This is a minor setback at most.
Well, at least we don't have to listen to you any longer today. I consider that alone a victory. Well done. If Hydra wasn't paying attention before, they are now. Stay sharp.
Count on it. Anything going on today?
Yes, Nico wants to speak with you. Do so before you sleep.
Can you tell me what this is about?
No.
Can you give me a hint about what Nico wants?
No. Talk with her tonight, yes? It is important to her.
Hunter, I was just looking for you. We need your assistance.
Who is we?
The Esoteric Mystical Order, specifically the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism.
That is an elaborate name.
You can blame Dr. Strange. Oh, I may have rearranged a few words so it spells out EMO KIDS.
Tell me what you need.
Dr. Strange Magic and I are researching a crucial moment in your past, but it's probably better if we just show you. How about it? Ready to uncover one of the greatest mysteries about your life after death?
Lead the way.
Let's do it! So, about the spell that brought you back to life, it worked better than expected, but there are some gaps.
You are talking about my death?
Exactly. The memories of your final moments might tell us how you defeated your mother 3 centuries ago. That could give us an edge this time around.
Those memories are lost.
Maybe not. We think there's a way to recover them. All you're gonna need is a mystical jumpstart.
How would that work?
Dr. Strange can explain it better than I, but if you want the abridged version, ask Magic. And when you're ready to begin the ritual, let me know.
Hunter, I'm glad you're present for the inaugural meeting.
Of what, exactly?
Why, the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism, the Abbey's local chapter of the Esoteric Mystical Order.
Right. EMO KIDS. So, the ritual?
Regarding your resurrection, we had to meticulously reunite your corpus, or physical vessel, with your animus, or spiritual essence.
On second thought, I will ask Magic.
But oh. All right.
Yes?
How does this ritual work?
This is the ritual. You focus on the past, Nico zaps you with her staff, Strange chants and waggles his fingers, then you remember. Maybe.
So why are you here?
Should the zapping, chanting, and waggling go bad, I will open a portal to Limbo and push you inside before the explosion.
There is a chance I might explode?
A very small chance. Unlikely.
That is all I need to know.
Tell Nico, and don't explode. Boom! A little joke. tiny, like your chance to explode.
The first part's easy. I need you to focus on your last memories before you fought Lilith.
Will this help me remember?
I can't answer that. When I start, you'll be the one making the repairs. The rest of us are here to keep you steady.
All right.
If you're ready, we can begin.
I am ready.
Now, Hunter, tell us what you see.
I raced through the Abbey grounds, angry, terrified. It is too late. We were not ready for this fight. My foot slips, but I catch myself. I run with my blades exposed. I am completely alone. The moonlight guides my path. My lungs ache. My heart pounds. I rush toward my doom. I cannot. No!
Whoa! We all saw that, right?
I have no words to describe it.
Finally.
Well, how about that? Your final moments are there, just buried deep inside.
It did not work.
Not yet, but we made progress. I'm sure we can figure out a way for you to remember more the next time.
Next time.
Heck yeah! EMO kids meet every lunar alignment, or, you know, whenever we're free on a slow night. Oh, and we need ingredients. Magic will send a list to your spark. If you bring enough, we can refine them into more useful mystical objects. We're done for today, but I'll be in touch about the next meeting. Catch you later.
I'm glad to see you're getting comfortable with the words of power, Hunter. If you're going to continue our little investigation of the Abbey, they'll be vital to your success.
Investigation?
A side project, but a potentially transformative one. With my blessing, Wanda was working to uncover what may be the most powerful.
Just what in the hell do you think you're doing in here?
Standing in the library?
I've given you free rein so you could get back on your feet. But I never thought you'd pull something like this.
What is it you think I am doing, exactly?
Don't be coy. It does not suit you. I told you how hard it's been since we lost Agatha. Instead of letting it rest, you decide to reopen the wound?
Oh, Sarah. I never thought of this place like that.
Of course you didn't. And now, it's done. Why should I ever stand in your way?
That anger wasn't meant for you, dear. You know that, right? Don't hold it against Sarah.
She may try to mask her feelings, but you know she is struggling with what happened. Why are you hiding from her?
For most people, the captivating relationships of their lives are formed over a matter of days and years. Sarah and I spent centuries together exploring this world, fighting the darkness, watching cities and even nations form and then crumble. And yet we persevered, together.
You still have not answered my question.
It may be difficult to understand, but she needs this time. Sending Wanda away, sealing the library, that elaborate memorial she conjured up, she didn't waste any time trying to bury what happened.
You are right. I do not understand.
It isn't up to me to reveal myself. It's up to her to accept what happened and allow herself to grieve. When that happens, we'll see each other again, but not before.
I trust you will do what is right for Sarah. So, what is it you are looking at here?
Yes, we should get back to the real reason I asked you to meet me here. Wanda's journal. The Abbey grounds have a great deal of history. Many of its secrets remain hidden, even after all this time.
Even to you?
Even to me. Wanda had taken to exploring the grounds in search of a strange energy we both sensed. Knowing that Sarah had no intention of waking you to investigate, Wanda felt it was up to her to take your place. Of course, being the clever girl that she is, her notes are written in an ancient, transient cipher that I've only just begun to understand. Have a look at the first entry. I'm sure it still seems a bit cryptic, but Wanda was definitely onto something. If you remember my altar, that's where she was conducting her experiments.
An investigation that involves experiments? Why do I feel like you are going to get me into trouble?
Since when has that ever stopped you? Let's meet out at the altar. I'll try to do a better job of explaining from there. Charlie will show you the way if you've forgotten. Like most things on the grounds here, there's more to this place than meets the eye. Do you remember the words I taught you as a child?
Are you going to make me say it?
Humor an old, dead woman.
Hocus pocus.
You haven't lost your touch, dear. The words may be simple, but these plinths won't appear for just anyone. Each represents one of the basic elements, their power activated only by the elemental rods they would normally be holding.
And where are the elemental rods now?
Scattered to the wind, unfortunately. A side effect of Wanda's experiments here.
Let me guess.
That's right. I want you to find the missing rods and return them here. Hopefully, as I decipher Wanda's journal, her notes will aid in the search.
But you have not actually told me what the greater purpose is here. What are we doing this for?
All in good time, dear. After what happened with Wanda, I'd rather you take things slowly. In fact, I don't want you overthinking this little project. There's no rush and you don't have to help if you don't feel like it. But there is one more thing before I head back to the library.
An arcane key.
Just a little something. A token for your efforts so far. The key can be used to open that chest nearby. Like so many other oddities around here, those chests tend to appear before those who deserve them most. Make yourself that person.
That seems intentionally vague.
It's more fun that way, isn't it? I'll be in the library working on the translations if you need me, dear. Good luck.
After all these years, it is good to see your face again.
Wish I could say the same, Mother. Now enough with this deception and reveal your true form.
But this is my true form. The way I was when you were just a sweet, helpless little baby. You don't remember that, do you? Well, I do. Bringing you into the world was the happiest time in my life.
And taking you out of this world again will be mine.
I had thought the words of power would open your eyes. But I should have known my sister and her pet witch would continue to withhold the truth from you.
And what truth is that?
The truth they are keeping from you. You need only...
Wait! Mother! Where did you...
Well, don't leave me in suspense. How are you enjoying the library?
I thought we were past that.
We are, but I'm still allowed to be annoyed with you. I expect a bit of pushback from the others, but not from you, Hunter.
Why not? When have I ever made things easy for you?
You had your moments, few and far between, but that's exactly my point. You know what that place, what she meant to me, and you did it anyway.
If I had known it meant this much to you, I would have waited. It was not my intention to defy or hurt you.
Hurt, no. Defy, maybe. At the same time, I know I haven't been very open with you about everything that's happened.
At least we are talking now. Silence between us would only make things worse.
You're right about that. We have bigger things to worry about. Like the mouthy alien tormenting Spider-Man as we speak.
He did risk himself for us without hesitation. We owe him for that, at least.
For once, I think the entire team is in agreement. It's only a matter of tracking Venom down.
I would just follow the trail of destruction, but maybe there is another way.
I'm sure we'll come up with something.
I was always drawn to this place as a child, but somehow I had almost forgotten about it.
I should have known you'd wind up here eventually. You were somehow always here as a child.
If only I had known him. And still you masked even this from me. My own father's grave?
It wasn't you I was hiding it from. I've been making a lot of apologies to you lately. Now, they probably don't mean that much. But I am sorry, Hunter. Lilith's relationship with your father went against our ways, our purpose, or so I believed at the time. It was the Elder Gods themselves who first breathed life into us. Human notions like falling in love couldn't possibly be part of their plan.
And then you met Agatha.
If only I'd realized it sooner. I might have been a little kinder towards him, especially at the end.
What happened?
A great sickness came upon this area just before you were born. Your father was one of the first to fall.
With all your power, the two of you, you could not save him?
Lilith was a gifted healer, but this was no ordinary plague. The corruption went beyond his physical body. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
What did Lilith do?
She did what anyone would have done. She grieved. But in her grief, she lost herself, and her grief turned into anger.
Is that when you took me from her?
It wasn't long after that. Things started to fall apart before my eyes. I couldn't see another way out but to run.
The plague that turned her into the mother of demons?
No, this was something else, but cut from the same cloth. Your mother was no longer the woman I knew. The sister I had fought alongside for centuries. She was gone.
I have never heard you talk this way before, Sarah.
It's hard to walk the grounds here without churning up so many old memories. Maybe now you understand why I don't venture out here that often anymore.
You were not affected by the plague?
We were all affected, whether we were among the sick or not. I'm sure there was a time when your mother and I both would have just as soon join the dead than continue to watch the villagers suffer.
I cannot imagine you ever reaching that point.
Lilith may have been the most skilled herbalist in the New World. I saw her perform near miracles with the potions she concocted from the plants in her garden. She was consumed by the idea of finding a cure.
But she never found one.
No, despite her efforts, nothing ever worked.
I can see how that would be a dark time for both of you.
With darker times still to come.
Thank you, Sarah. Your timing may need work, but I appreciate the honesty.
Anything for you, Hunter. Anything.
I would be rotting inside that creature's gullet if not for Spider-Man. Time to return the favor.
We'll find him. We're running facial recognition on every surveillance camera in the cloud. They just keep moving too fast.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but you think Team Spooky's doing any better?
Nothing.
Well, your inflection on that last dactyl was... perfect. Perhaps a magnetism rune.
Against a level 5 demon alien hybrid? Where did you learn your magic? Demo Khan?
You know, you really do have a look.
Hunter's right. This isn't working.
On to plan C. Well, more like D.
Norman won't mind if I borrow a few Oscorp satellites at 45,000 feet, right?
Higher, further, faster, baby.
82nd and 5th. Well, between 5th and Madison now.
Guys, they're live. And they're trending.
Hashtag Big Alien Apple.
Not bad.
Thanks. Now imagine if you had just asked for our help sooner.
No time for an after-school special. Patching it through. Patching it all through.
We need to hurry.
Stay safe, ma'am!
I should probably tell you the same thing.
Jeez. You'd think he'd at least have tennis elbow or something by now?
Spider-Man, we shall scorch your bones and bring them home to Mother! Subdue this animal and bring it to Site 1. We'll squish your face and eat your...
I'd seriously consider switching occupations if I were you, friend. I know, no job's perfect. But at the end of the day, it's all about the coworkers.
We will not fail!
This one's for you.
This one's for you!
Here we go.
There's no way they can stop us.
They will not forget that.
Here we go!
We will never forsake her.
Now I owe you one.
Oh man, more Hydra incoming!
You need this more than I do. Going.
Good one!
It is sealed. Here you go.
I'll give it a whirl.
Don't worry, I got you. We've got them all. Now let's get to Venom and stop all this.
No more games! No more running! You can't stop us! Heroes! But we hope you try! Mother tells us to hurry!
Take that! I'm going for it! You had your chance to escape.
Here's one for ya. Pretty weak if you ask me.
Awaiting reinforcements!
I'm on it! Oh, this should be good!
How about this one?
We will make you feel regret!
Coming at you!
We will peel back your flesh!
I am ensnared.
Reinforcements inbound!
This should be good. Weren't they supposed to be all big and bad?
This is a great victory, everyone!
Mother's strength is eternal! We are eternal!
He fights like a damned Wendigo!
Unstoppable.
Oh, he's not unstoppable. Just really annoying. Huh. Not my worst idea ever. Good afternoon, Demo Venom! Here's a special request from all of New York to you, our slobbiest invaders since Thanos. That was exceptionally loud! Had to get bit by a radioactive spider with really good hearing.
I was going to say, amazing.
That's what the kids tell me! I think I'll pass out now.
Don't worry. I know a safe place.